Hi, my name is Janet Sy, and I want to welcome you to Tuesday's Manna, where I'm reading from the book I wrote, No Time for the Gospel. Chapter 40, Mourning into Dancing. There is a time to mourn and a time to dance. Ecclesiastes 3:4. Why would Solomon put these two verbs together? When you think of mourning, sadness comes to mind. When you think of dancing, joy comes to mind. Complete opposites. Yet Solomon says that at some point in our lives, we may experience both. I remember going to a convention at my old alma mater. I ran into an old friend that I had not seen in years. Her husband had died a couple of years earlier. As we talked and reminisced, I stopped hearing her and started listening. It took a while to figure it out, but I finally realized my friend was only going through the motions of life. She was basically existing. Her smile and her voice never reached her eyes. She was still in the process of mourning, and those of us around her had no idea. There is a tendency to think that in 2 years, a person should be farther along in their grieving process. Maybe my friend even told herself that she needed to get on with life. Trying to get on with life without fully taking the time to mourn can lead to existing rather than living life to its fullest. Yet, Solomon puts dancing in the same verse as mourning. There is a time to dance. Dancing entails movement of some sort. It's going from the solitude and stillness of mourning to stepping outside of one's grief. How does one dance when they've mourned so long? In other words, how do you go on with your life? You have to remember that a time of mourning is a chapter that we all go through. We have to allow God to turn the page so that we can get to the next chapter. Sometimes the pages may stick together and it takes a little doing, but once we start reading the next paragraph, we can begin to exhale. Mourning is confusing. We don't know what to do next. Dancing is a movement toward God, where there is already a plan. We don't have to worry about what to do next. The Lord says in Jeremiah, "For I know the plans I have for you." Jeremiah 29:11. He didn't say we had to know. He said He knows the plan. We just have to keep moving and dancing, one step and one day at a time. Our dancing is our act of faith. It's hard to even imagine dancing when you're mourning, but there is indeed a time to mourn and a time to dance. The relevant scriptures are Ecclesiastes 3:4 and Jeremiah 29:11. Thank you so much for joining me today, and don't forget to subscribe.